Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 94 of Like, Share, Follow. And on this episode, I'm so lucky to have Shae Allen, who's the event coordinator at the Caloundra Chamber of Commerce. So welcome, Shae. How are you this morning?
Thanks, Karen. I'm really well. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good, thanks. So thanks for coming on the show. And I wanted to just talk to you because the last time you were in my class, it would have been last year? Is that correct? When we were last?
No, it was actually 2020 when COVID hit.
Oh my goodness! So it's been a little while. So yeah. And so what course did you do at UniSC in for social media?
So I actually did a Bachelor of Business with majoring tourism, leisure, and event management. But I did a few social media subjects as some electives because I thought they would really benefit and complement my degree.
Excellent. And so since graduating, so it's been a little while. So since graduating, what have you been doing from then until now?
So I finished my degree at the end of 2021 and then had my ceremony in April of 2022. Since I graduated, I was working as a marketing officer for a hospitality group down in Caboolture. So I was doing that for a while, looking after one venue. And then late last year, I just decided that it wasn't my passion anymore and that events was what I wanted to do. So, and then I was lucky enough to find this position at the Caloundra Chamber, and I've been there since November, and it's been amazing.
Excellent. And so, as we'll sort of say before we went to air, it takes a very special person to run events. And so tell me, like, what does your job involve? Clearly running events, but just tell me, what's a day in the life of an event coordinator at the Caloundra Chamber of Commerce like?
It varies because obviously our big thing is making sure our members are looked after. So I do a lot of membership stuff as well. So depending what type of event I've got on, it could be planning the food or planning the drinks or the entertainment, like all those things that you need for an event. And then the other times it could be calling members, catching up, just having a chat, seeing if they need a hand. So it sort of varies day to day. Like I can't pinpoint exactly what your day to day looks like, but it's every day is so much fun. Like I'm doing something different every day. And it's really fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. Like, it's sort of similar to my life too. Every day is different. You don't know what's going to be. Like, you've got the plan, but often it doesn't go to plan, and you just have to roll with it.
That's exactly right. You've got to have plan like A, B, C, and D all ready to go in case you need it.
Yeah. And so tell me, what has been one of the best pieces of advice that you've had as part of your career journey?
I think it was when I left my previous job. I felt quite guilty, and I started to build up, is it selfish of me to leave and that? But I was told time and time again by the people I worked with that you owe it to yourself to get where you need to go. So I think that really helped me. It's, sometimes you have to take that leap to continue and to further your career. And I just found it motivating and reassuring that, I wasn't letting my team down that I was working with. They were actually proud of me and like supporting me because they knew that this is where I wanted to go. So I think that would probably have been the best advice that I've received.
Yeah. I think that is great advice as well, because, you can't stay somewhere where you feel like, you want to learn and keep developing. And so, and it's good to get a range of experience, I think, as well. So, yeah. Oh, that's good. And what do you think set you apart from other people going for the role that you're in now as the events coordinator?
So I was fortunate enough to receive a full-time job as a marketing coordinator in my last year of uni for the hospitality group down in Caboolture. And being only 20 at the time and working in that professional environment already, while there were other graduates who were still just working those casual jobs at uni, I I'm so grateful for that. And without that opportunity, I wouldn't be here today. I mean, I was working full time, studying full time. So like I barely took a break from the computer screen, probably for about 8 months. But I look back today and I think if I didn't have that opportunity, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I think that's probably what I reckon.
Yeah. And so from this show, because we're, as I said, we're 94 episodes in, so I've spoken to a lot of grads and even some people who are sort of coming to the end of their degree, but that who are actually working in the field while they're studying. And so what advice do you have for people who are studying to manage that? Because it's a lot, like working in your chosen field as well as finishing your degree. What sort of tips do you have to navigate that without I guess to survive it, I think is the question.
Yeah, no, I wish someone had told me these tips. I think it's still so important to find that balance, makes you being social, doing stuff you like, but I think time management is probably the best thing. I was doing uni for 8 hours, and like even though I wasn't working at the venue, I'd come home and work from home and do a few hours. So I would try and do most of my stuff during the week, and then on the weekends be able to have that bit of social life.
Yeah.
So I think it's just time management and just doing it. Like, yeah, it's gonna be hard. But if you dedicate it and you put your mind to it, then you'll be able to achieve what you want.
Yeah, good advice. And so now, reflecting on your time at university, what have been some of the things that you found really useful that you learned there in terms of knowledge and skills that have helped you in your role now?
Probably like my critical thinking, problem skills, and time management. Because those skills do, translate into the fast-paced and dynamic field of event management that I do currently. I'm going to be able to quickly think on my feet if there's an issue. How do I fix that straight away? And time management, just making sure, because I'm communicating with a lot of different stakeholders as well. So just making sure, I split my time equally between them and making sure they've got all the information that they need. So I think those skills definitely helped. Helped me get where I am today and be able to do the job that I'm doing.
And I think that having that flexibility, particularly in events, because sometimes an event can take on a life of its own and it can start to go off in a direction and you need to like try to bring it back. So and whatever can go wrong does go wrong sometimes with events, and so just coming up with solutions on the spot.
You're exactly right.
And on the flip side of that, so what has been some knowledge and skills that you wish you'd learned at university that you've needed in your current role that you've had to actually upskill now that you're out of university?
Probably the biggest thing is the practical experience for me. There wasn't a lot of opportunity to do a lot of practical stuff. Because it's all good and well, like you can write an event on a piece of paper, you can organize everything on a piece of paper, but then when you actually implement it, things can go completely different because wherever you're hosting the venue, the spacing, or wherever the PowerPoint is, like I just think that would have probably helped me further. But in saying that, I've been in the hospitality industry for ages, so I did sort of have those skills in there, and then obviously as I've come into this new role, they've developed and enhanced.
But that's a good point. And so now, like, you do use some social media in part of your role. I know there is a digital storyteller who does that, but you would still work with some social media to promote the events that you're coordinating. But can you share, because it changes as we know, like every day, can you share something you've learned, or a hack, or a tool or something that you've come across in the last couple of weeks around social media?
I actually came across it last night that Meta verified, because
Yeah.
we use Meta a lot to look after our social media pages, and I saw that this Meta verified could be the avenue to resolving a lot of Facebook issues. So I have been in a position where our social media accounts have got hacked, and like they shut everything down, and we were using Meta at the time, and the support through Meta was not the best it could be, unfortunately. So it did take us a few weeks. We finally got it back. It did take us a few weeks, but I think if this is something that can prevent that, then I think it's a game changer, because there is so much, I guess, life in these social media pages that we've been using for years. So I thought that was quite interesting, and hopefully it does get approved. I think they're in the testing stage, I read, at the moment. But so hopefully that'll come to light quite soon.
So it's interesting. I think they're sort of doing that because of Twitter, because now you can sort of pay for verification. So it'll be interesting to see what other platforms that will happen on as well. So and so now that you've been out working in the field for quite a while and you finish a degree, what advice would you give to current students or who are emerging professionals about, because some are actually coming to the end of their degrees, or they're about to graduate next month in our April ceremony. So what advice would you give to them about how to succeed in their chosen career?
I think if you can take as many opportunities as you can, each one is a potential pathway to your future. And I just believe, every year outside of uni, every job that you have is a stepping stone to your chosen pathway. So any opportunities that do come your way, just take them, because you never know which one could lead to your professional career and your dream job. I think that probably best piece of advice, I reckon.
Absolutely. And things too, like sometimes they're not paid, but even volunteer positions can really
100%.
help build your experience. So if you are interested in events, they're like all the major events that happen on the coast or wherever you are, they always need volunteers. So doing things like that can help you. You won't be in the actual organisation of it, but you can get a feel for what happens, and you can talk to people who do run events and things like that. So if that's an area you're interested in, but it happens with even non-profit organisations, sporting clubs, everyone needs volunteers, and so it's just a great way to build your experience and do something good as well.
And you'll get noticed as well. Like, even though you may only be volunteering, but the event planners will notice you, and then you might get offered a part-time job or something. Like, you just got to put yourself out there.
Absolutely. And it's so true. That's the thing. You've got to become known to the people who make those decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so now we've come to the most important question of the whole show, and that is, who do you like, share, and follow?
There's a young girl on the Sunshine Coast called Tara McKean. She's a founder and event manager of Self Events Co. So I quite am intrigued by her, because she focuses on events that empower young women to be bold. And I think being a young woman in a professional career and industry, it's nice to have those strong connections and build those relationships with other women in the professional industry as well. So I've been following her, and she did a big International Women's Day lunch the other day, and she's amazing. So she's probably my like, share, follow at the moment.
Excellent. We'll have to check her out, and maybe you can tag her in the comments underneath the video when it's on LinkedIn and Facebook. So other people can follow her too. So well, that's it. So we've reached the end of the episode. Do you have any final words of wisdom to share before we wrap up?
Just enjoy this university ride. Like, it's, it may only happen once for someone, or you may go back and do more study, but whatever you do, just enjoy it. Like, make those lifelong friendships, study hard, have fun, just enjoy it, because it's definitely a part of my life that I loved. And that I look back on it now and am grateful for the opportunities that I had back then. So just enjoy it.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Shae, for joining us today. And
The
next episode will be in a few weeks, but we only have 6 episodes left before the very end of this show and the project. So if you would like to be one of the final guests on Like, Share, Follow, and you studied at least one social media course at the University of the Sunshine Coast and have now graduated, please get in touch with me, and I'd love to have you on the show. So thanks again, Shae, and have a good day, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Karen. Bye.
Thanks.